Connor and Lysa are, what are you anyway?
We never really nailed down the wording.
Grant from Screen Rant, very excited to be chatting with you, Olivia, for Librarians, the next chapter. I love the original show. I've seen the first couple episodes of the new season, and it is already off to a rollicking start. Now, first and foremost, I'd love to hear what it was about the Librarians that drew you to want to be a part of it. Is it the world building? Is it the characters? Is it the creatures?
Oh, God, I mean, all of the above. But I would say being a part of something that has such a massive world and a massive legacy, I thought was going to be daunting. And it's actually turned out to be the most rewarding project because there's so much information to dive into. You know, you get scripts sometimes, you begin projects and you begin them at the beginning, and I feel like we're beginning them, you know, it's in the middle. And I'm so grateful to have such, you know, like an encyclopedia of information about this show that I get to be in. And, you know, Dean is such an amazing showrunner, but he is a true encyclopedia. Getting to have him directing us, and he obviously writes and he's on set with us. In the first few episodes when we began, it was so wonderful to be able to pick his brain and question and query, and he met us with so much curiosity rather than being like, no, this is how it has to be because that's how it's always been. He was like, yeah, let's work this out. Let's work out how this show lives and how these characters respond, and such a delight. So honestly, yeah, the thing I thought would be maybe the most scary has been the thing I've loved the most.
Well, I love that you've gotten to have that experience, especially since you've got a second season that's halfway through filming. Which I'll ask about that in a bit. But and I'd love to hear about Lysa because she's someone who's so interesting to me in that she's coming at this from almost like a Scully in the X-Files, a skeptic who is going to embrace herself in this world in order to try and figure it out. What is it like, you know, walking that line between yourself probably wanting to celebrate the magic that is in these episodes, but knowing that Lysa is still trying to analytically figure it all out?
Yeah, I absolutely love Lysa as a character. I remember even when first reading her, I thought, this is going to be great fun to play. You know, you have this scientist who has always believed, you know, she's understood the world and how it works. You know, things are black or white, they're not grey, she doesn't live in that world. And we suddenly meet her with it all crumbling down around her, you know, and I think that's such a brilliant way to start a character because that meant I had such a great opportunity to make the arc huge. You know, how do you get the character who refuses to believe in magic to believe in magic? And I really enjoyed playing her really not believing in any of it because I had, you know, Bluey who plays Connor, the historian who believes in it all. I had him also to push back against, and the librarian who, I mean, Cal is just larger than life and absolutely fantastical. And Lysa's a scientist. She doesn't meet people like that. So she's just like, what is happening? And it was so fun to play against these characters. And obviously then you meet Jess coming off a motorbike, taking her hair out. And Lysa's never met a woman like that either. So she's just like, this is crazy. So the first episode for me, I think of so much, I think so fondly of because it was a total delight. But I had so much to play off of. You know, Cal, Blue and Jess are so wonderful to work with, and their characters are even better, you know?
So talking about that first episode and characters, I did also want to ask about what it was like working with Christian as Jacob, because I feel like that has to be sort of a great feeling to have one of the originals there to sort of hand the torch to you guys, even as I was talking with Dean yesterday, and he said, or, you know, they're still continuing their adventures. You are just now a secondary, you know, another team. But like, what is it like having Jacob or Christian there as Jacob?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were so chuffed to have him there because I think any of our nerves or unsurety he was amazing. He sort of came in and just told us, you know, this is yours now. Like, go and take it. Like, we've done ours. We're all still, like, the libraries are still happening. Their library didn't end for ours to begin, but he was like, take it and run. And we were like, oh, you know, it's one thing having like Dean say that to us, but to have, you know, Christian say that, we're so grateful to have it now in hindsight, because I think it really did give us permission to, you know, really you take it and run, because I think you never want to take it too far away from the show. And because we have Dean at the helm, we're never going to. The librarians will always be the librarians. The adventures will always be familiar. All we have now is for new cast members who I hope feel new and familiar, and their chemistry feels just as lovely as the original chemistry between the four librarians were. And yeah, I think it was such a joy, and having anybody sort of pass over the torch in a sort of spin-off is wonderful, because I hope it really shows the fans that we mean business when it comes to keeping this the show that they know.
Well, you all certainly have, and talking about the chemistry and dynamics as well. That's one thing that I always found, not that I want to keep comparing this one to the original, but one thing I did love about the original was when the group would sort of split up and there would be pairs instead of necessarily the big group dynamic, whether it was Cassie and Stone or Flynn and Eve. Can we look forward to some of that this season, whether it be you and Cal or someone else?
Absolutely. That is actually the thing in terms of filming that is so delightful. We will always be little pairs, and they're always so different. Like a scene with Blue, who plays Connor, is so different with a scene with Jess, who's the Guardian. And I mean, Cal and Lysa, Vikram and Lysa have such a fun dynamic that I hope the fans will really enjoy as their episodes continue, because I don't know, we are so different as a four, just like the originals were. They had such a great amount of contrast, and I think that really, you're going to get so many opportunities to meet all of these characters in different partnerships and different couplings. But also, I have to admit, when we have a scene, the four of us, I absolutely love it. I think we all are sort of like, oh, we're back together. Like Jess is filming in Serbia right now without any of us in one episode. We're in it a little bit, but not much. And we're all just a bit like, what's happening? We're not all together. I don't know what to do.
I did always find it interesting when in the original show that would happen, and I was like, oh no, where's everybody else? Just the one person? I mean, granted, it also unlocked oftentimes a new layer to that character,
definitely.
But yeah. So looking at Lysa's arc this season, then obviously the pilot sets up that there may be a sort of ancestral mystery to that, to her character. I'd love to hear what you can preview about how this season will tackle that, especially since that's very much tied to Vikram's arc.
I think fans, are going to get to see a different story being told, which is nice. And I think, the Librarians always seem a bit like a family. They're a really tight-knit group. And I think it's so hard to do this without spoilers. What we're about to sort of see is, different dynamics and different relationships for the group to have to also deal with. And Vikram is a librarian out of time. He's not meant to be in the modern day. He's meant to be in the 1800s with his family and his people, and we're now his people, and I wonder what that will mean for his old family. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that there.
No, I think that's the perfect way to punctuate that tease without getting you in trouble. And I don't want to do that because I'm excited to see when season 2 comes around as well. And I'd love to hear what that's like, getting that 2-season pickup, because that is a rarity, I feel like, in TV nowadays. So what was it like when you heard the news that like you're not getting 1 season, you're getting 2 right out the gate?
Yeah, we were gobsmacked. We got a phone call from Dean like 2 weeks after filming. We thought he was calling us to tell us we need to do reshoots or something. And instead we're all there on FaceTime, all of our faces, and he's like, guys, we're doing season 2. We were all like, Dean, we just finished. What do you mean? We just finished 1. And we were so over the moon. But it's been so lovely getting to film our show quietly in Serbia with no one around and no one knows about it. It's just ours. And now we're on our season 2 and season 1's about to come out, and it's just, we've had such honestly like a luxury of a filming experience, because so often you're so worried about what people are going to think, but really we just got to make the show that we love, and the showrunners love, and the crew loves, and hopefully the audience loves. But it's been nice for it to just be ours for a little bit, but now I'm really ready for it to be someone else's.
I'm ready to get the word out and make it everybody else's, because I think fans are going to love it. And so before I let you go, final question, still looking at season 2, I loved how each season of the original sort of evolved in slightly different ways when, we had Prospero and time travel for 1 season, and then we had the ley lines for another. Again, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'd love to hear maybe what you can share about how season 2 feels different compared to season 1.
I actually think season 2 is wonderful. Season 2 is really diving into these characters as a 4 and as individuals, and what it really means to be part of the library.
I like that. I will take that because, yes, I'm sure season 1 is all about them just sort of trying to acclimate to the craziness. But then season 2, it sounds like, it'll be a lot of introspection. And I can't wait to see it. But in the meantime, again, I've still got 8 screeners to get through for this one, and I can't wait to do it. So, Olivia, thank you so much for taking the time. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. That was so fun. Thank you very much.
Good. No, I just wanted to lock that plan down.